Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Thanks so much for continuing to watch. In this segment, we'll talk a little bit about your risk for melanoma. I'm here with Dr. Mark Hurlbert. Thanks so much for making time for us here in Atlanta. Dr. Hurlbert, can we start off talking about some sunscreen myths that can be debunked?
People think you only need to use sunscreen in the sunny summer months, that you only need to wear sunscreen if you're going out to the pool or the beach, but you get sun exposure all day long, your commute to the office, your walks outdoors, and so we encourage people to practice sun safety every day of the year.
According to a new survey from the Melanoma Research Alliance, only about half of Americans regularly use sunscreen when they're outdoors, and just 38% wear it during everyday activities like running errands or driving. Can we discuss in detail the safety of using sunscreen?
In our survey, we heard almost 60% of respondents mentioned concerns that they had read on the internet about ingredients in sunscreens. I would like to confirm to viewers, sunscreens manufactured and provided on the stores in the U.S. are safe and regulated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. The FDA regulates sunscreens just like they do over-the-counter drugs, and so anything you can buy at your grocery store or pharmacy are safe and effective.
Many people don't realize how melanoma risk really builds. What can you tell us about the risks and causes of melanoma?
Melanoma is caused by UV sun damage, more than 95% of melanoma cases. So sunburns are the main driver of melanoma, but any sort of intentional sun exposure. So we encourage people, never intentionally burn your skin, don't use tanning beds, don't lay out at the pool or the beach, always seek shade and sun safety.
As we head into the summer months, remember to make sunscreen a part of your daily routine. A simple step that can make a big difference for your health. What do you recommend in terms of the type of sunscreen we should be using?
We recommend broad spectrum sunscreens that prevent against both UVA and UVB damage, and SPF 30 or higher. And another key is to reapply sunscreen throughout the day. You sweat and things can help it to rub off. So to reapply, and if you go into the water at the pool or the beach or the lake, make sure that you dry off when you come out and then reapply sunscreen right away.
Melanoma risk is misunderstood. 55% of people don't realize that repeated short periods of sun exposure increase your risk. Sunscreen skepticism is prevalent. 53% of Americans say that they've seen claims that sunscreen ingredients may be harmful. 59% are concerned about chemicals in sunscreen. What do you want consumers to know about the proper use of sunscreen?
Yeah, in our survey, only half of the respondents use sunscreen routinely, and only a third incorporate it into their daily practice. So no, people are not using sunscreens and preventing skin cancers as much as they could. And so thank you so much for having us on your show today. We really encourage your audience to be sure to practice sun safety year-round. Wear broad spectrum SPF 30 or higher sunscreen. You can also wear UV protective clothing, and just avoid the peak sun hours between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Do your exercise and outdoor activities earlier in the mornings or in the early evening hours.
Protection isn't consistent. Only 50% regularly use sunscreen outdoors. Just 38% wear sunscreen during everyday activities. 33% of Black respondents say people with darker skin tones generally don't even need sunscreen. Melanoma is one of the most preventable cancers, yet confusion about sunscreen and misunderstanding of daily sunscreen use are making prevention more difficult. What are the warning signs of melanoma?
We found that 80% of people knew that sun causes damage to the skin and increases your risk for melanoma and skin cancer, but less than a third of people practice sun safety every day. So melanoma, you can most commonly thought of as the mole or a brown spot on your skin that changes, and it's not always a brown spot. It can be sometimes look like a red spot or a pimple that changes. But what's key is to know your body, know what freckles, moles, and spots you have, and know if they're changing over time. You might need to have a friend or a family member look at your back and areas that you can't see on your own to see if there are any moles there. And again, look for changes over time. And if you see something new or evolving, then it's critical to have a doctor look at it and make sure whether it needs to be further evaluated or not.
For more information, visit the Melanoma Research Alliance. Thanks so much for tuning in to this segment of Focus Atlanta. We'll be right back with more.